Okay, we are getting ready to put our turkey in the oven, and I wanted to show you how I done my turkey. I'm still on my coffee. I bought some, let me show you what I got. Some of the hazelnut creamer. It is so good. I usually drink French vanilla, but they didn't have French vanilla, so I got the hazelnut, and I'm liking the hazelnut. Okay, so I usually follow the directions on the package for how long I should lay out the turkey to thaw it out, and then I follow what temperature to bake it on and for how long. Now I do check it during that time frame, but I put a thermometer in it to make sure it's done for me. But as far as about how long to cook it, it pretty much follows what it says on the package. It may be off a little bit, but not much. I have took my turkey out, and there's a little bit of ice crystals on it, but nothing bad. And I've washed it really good. I've dried it, and I always place mine when it's thawing out in a pan. This didn't leak, but if you have a tiny little hole and it starts to leak, if you don't have a pan or something, it's going to get all in your fridge. You're going to have a huge mess. And if you can see my house back through here, it is a mess. After I get the turkey in, I'll quickly clean up, and then we'll start on the next project. But it is a mess right now. I've been cooking all week, and it's just a mess. And then I have a small kitchen. I don't have a lot of counter space, so everything is just kind of cluttered up right now. So I'm going to turn you guys down, and I'm going to show you how I do my turkey. Now, I do want to tell you that I do put spices on it, and this is my house seasoning. I do have a video on how I make my own house seasoning. It consists of onion powder, garlic powder, salt, black pepper, parsley flakes, and some paprika. And if you want to know the amounts, you can check out that video. If you don't want to use my house seasoning, you can just make up your own. But I just poured some out. Excuse me. I just poured some out, and I'm going to sprinkle all that over my turkey. Also, I have a little concoction here, and it is mustard, Dijon mustard, minced garlic, and butter. And my butter was softened, and I just mixed all that together, and I'm going to spread that on my turkey and then put my seasonings on. So hold on, I'm going to turn you guys down and let you see how I prepare it. Okay, can you see the turkey? And you will have to sanitize anything you've touched, anything that the turkey has touched, because you don't want to cross-contaminate anything. Now, I've got 2 pieces of tin foil that I'm going to wrap up my turkey in. I put one this way and one crossways. And this is a small turkey. There's not going to be many of us eating today. Let me get some paper towels. It is messy. But I've washed my turkey after taking it out of the wrapper. I've washed it. So now we're going to start with our mustard and butter sauce. And you don't want to use straight out of the jar. You want to put it in something because it's going to be contaminated. You don't want to reuse. You don't want to spoon it out of the jar and put it on here and then stick the spoon back in the jar. This is probably not the prettiest, but it sure makes for a good turkey. And I just take my fingers and gently tear the skin so I can get up in there and put me a little of this sauce, because you want to flavor that turkey. And if you tear the skin, that's okay. It's easily torn, but just kind of gently manipulate that. Kind of just tear it loose. Okay. I'll turn it over and we'll do this side. I'm gonna tear the skin first a little bit. You see how you've got that kind of membrane there? You want to kind of manipulate that, tear it to where you can get your fingers up under that skin. You want to make sure you debling, because you don't want that stuff in your rings. Now, if I don't use all of this mustard, it's going to be thrown away. Because you don't want to reuse it. It's contaminated. Poultry, it kind of scares me. Because you can easily cross-contaminate stuff. But I have some bleach. And I will spray everything down. Wash it really good. My faucets, this countertop, anything that I think I've touched. Anything I think I haven't touched, just still wash it. Okay. We'll put some down in the cavity. Okay, got that on there really nice. I'm going to wash my hands and I'm going to come back and we're going to put our spices on there. I was going to tell you to get all your spices and everything you think you're possibly going to need before you even touch this turkey. Now we're going to do our spices. We'll do a little bit in the cavity. Then we'll just sprinkle it over the entire turkey. It's gonna be so good. Now I do bake mine covered for probably about 2/3 of the time, and then I'm going to remove the tinfoil and let it brown. Because you want that skin good and crispy. Butter is hardening back up. Put it in the microwave. I'd left it out overnight, but I put it in the microwave and got it really soft so I can mix it with my garlic and my mustard. Okay. This is a turkey breast. No one in our family likes the legs and the thighs, so I just buy the turkey breast. Okay. Now, I'm going to wrap this up and get it in the pan. See you guys back in a little bit. This tin foil, excuse me. This tin foil is going to keep all that moisture in. Let me go get my pan now. Okay, I've got just a little bit of water in here. There we go. Okay, I'm going to stick this in the oven. The direction says 350, so that's what I've preheated my oven for, and we'll see you back in a little bit. Okay, the turkey has been in about an hour or so. I've got my turkey broth heating up, and I do have turkey broth. If you don't have access to that, my dogs. If you don't have access to turkey broth, get you some chicken thighs and legs and breasts, and with some celery, onions, and carrots, and season it with salt and pepper and garlic, and make your own broth. If you don't want to do that, you can use canned broth. It's not going to be as good, but it'll work. And I do have some extra. I have the chicken base that I can make some if I don't have enough. But it is a little better if you make your own stock. Right now, we are going to make some cranberry sauce. Also, I have thawed out my celery, and I'm going to cut up some onion and fry those and heat the celery back up. Because I bought the celery early, chopped it up, and put it in the freezer. So this, for the cranberry sauce, this is a 12-ounce bag. And I just follow the back of the directions on the back of the package. 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of water. But instead of water, I do apple juice. And sometimes I add a little bit more sugar because we like ours really sweet. But that's up to you. If you want less sugar or more, that's up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and make that. So let me go ahead and get my apple juice. I'll be right back. Okay, got my sugar in here, and I'm just going to add my apple juice. And you could use water or orange juice if you wanted. I've used both. I just like apple juice a little better. And you're going to hear them pop. It'll take about maybe 10-15 minutes. You just kind of want them to pop open and the berries to get soft. Because right now they're hard. So you want to get a little bit soft. And then it will be kind of liquid, but once it sits and it cools down, it'll congeal back and be more of a sauce. Okay, and that's it. I've got my turkey broth heating up. I'll bring it up to temp and then let it cool down, and we'll get our cornbread dressing ready. You can hear them popping. That popping sound is those berries popping open. That's what you want to hear. You boil it probably for about 10-15 minutes, and then your cranberry sauce is going to be done. Okay, the cranberry sauce is done. It don't take it very long at all, and you can tell it's got a lot of liquid in it. The berries have changed color. They've gotten a lot darker and they've busted open and they're soft. There's a few that hasn't. That's okay. I tasted it and I added about a 1/4 cup more sugar. That's just for our liking, but you can, you can decrease or add. I'm getting my celery and my onions softened for my cornbread dressing. My broth has come up to temp and I've turned it off so it'll cool down so I can use it in my chicken or my dressing. I'm going to turn this off right here, cranberry sauce, and let it cool. And once it cools, and you see how liquid it is, it's going to congeal and be more like a, not hardly like a Jell-O. So I'm going to get my turkey out. I'm going to see what temp it is right now, and probably take the tin foil off and let the skin start browning. So we'll see you guys back in a little bit. Okay, here's the turkey. I'm going to now cook it with the tin foil back. The thermometer is reading about 130. So it's not done, but it's at a good temp for the amount of time it's been in there. Now I'll start basting it and put it back in there and finish cooking. Hey, I wanted to kind of update you. We're getting ready to do the mix up the cornbread dressing, but I wanted to show you my cranberry sauce. Let me turn it go. You see how it's still quite warm. The bowl is warm, but the more it cools, kind of the thicker it'll get. But you want to put it in the bowl that you want to serve while it's warm, so it'll be all pretty. I'm going to take you guys over, let you see the turkey. The turkey says, look at it. Turkey says it has about 30 more minutes. At that point, I'll get it out, look at the temp, and then we'll go from there if it needs to stay in there a little longer. But remember, your turkey needs to be at 165. Well, that's what I like to get it at. Some people say 160 and it'll cook a little more after you get it out, but I let it get 165 right in front of that light and it's going to glare. I let it cook at 165 because I like mine a little more on the done side. I like the texture when it gets 165 a little bit more, but I've been basting it the last hour every little bit, so it should still be juicy and not dry. But that's up to you. If you want it at 160, take it out and then keep it wrapped and let it cook a little more, you can. But let it rest a while before you ever cut it. I usually kind of let mine rest and then make sure the other sides are done. And if you want to, you can still cover it after you cut it, cover it with tin foil, or if you want to take put a little of the chicken broth on it, pop it in the microwave and just kind of bring it up to temp if it's gotten cold while you're cooking your other sides. But you know, the more you cook, kind of the more you learn what works for you. Most of the time I take it out at 165, I let it rest a while, then I'll cut it and I'll cover it with tin foil. And usually it's good to serve. It's still good and hot. And we'll get you guys set up and we're going to put together the cornbread dressing. The main dish for us. We love it. Hey guys, we're going to put our cornbread dressing together. Let me get my pan. This is like a 9x13. I've sprayed it with some cooking spray so it doesn't stick. You're going to need that cornbread we made the other night. Here it is, and I've just crumbled it up. And you can crumble it up as fine. If you want to put it in the food processor and do that, I've just crumbled it by hand. And I've left some chunks because that's what I like. But you can do whatever you want. I've got a thing of stovetop stuffing. I like to add that because that's just seasoned breadcrumbs is really all it is. You see Wayne back there? And I've got some sauteed onions and celery because a lot of times if you put them in raw, they don't have time in the oven to completely cook and you'll crunch down on them. And I don't like that. I want them done. I've got a little bit of melted butter, about 1/3 cup. I've got some turkey broth that I'd had in the freezer. I laid it out a couple of days ago, let it thaw out, and then I brought it up to room temp. I brought it up to temp, and I've got some salt. I've got some black pepper. I'm not going to add any salt because the stock has salt, so I'm not going to add any. And I've got some poultry seasoning, garlic powder, and ground sage. And then I always put a can of cream of chicken, but you can use cream of celery or cream of mushrooms. And with cornbread dressing, you can add whatever you want. Some people cook shredded chicken. They add that to their mix. Some people add sausage, the cooked, the livers and the gizzards that come with your turkey. Some people use that. I've added mushrooms before. I like mushrooms in it. Wayne doesn't, so we're not going to add any mushrooms. Wayne went back in the bedroom. He's watching TV. Let me turn this light out. I've juggled back and forth with the lights. I need both of them, but when I'm filming, I have to turn one of them off because it's a glare. So let's get started. Now, I'm going to start with about 5 cups of my cornbread. And like I said, you can crumble that up as fine or leave it chunky, cut it up in cubes. You know, you make it your own. Let me get a knife and open this up. And I just pour this in with my cornbread. I don't make it like the directions on the back. Because I just want those seasoned breadcrumbs to go with the cornbread. And this is a 6-ounce box. The Pepper Rich Farm is good. I've used the generic too. Okay. We got about 1 cup of our onions and celery. If you wanted to add green pepper, you probably could. I don't. This is just kind of how I stick with mine. I'm going to go ahead and add my butter. Let me turn you guys down. I'm sorry. Y'all can't see what I'm doing. I've worked all morning and I'm just bumfuzzled. Let me turn you guys down. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh yeah, eggs. You'll need a couple of eggs. But I put them in the very last thing. Because you'll want to taste this and make sure that your seasonings is good. And you can't do that after you get the eggs in there. So you taste it once you get everything in there. And then if it's where you want it, then you'll add your eggs and then put it in the pan and bake it. You want to bake it at about 350. And it depends on the size of your pan and how thick you've got it or how long you bake it. I'll add some black pepper. Let me measure. I don't measure. I just Usually just put it in there. And that's about probably a good teaspoon of black pepper. Okay. Start out with about a teaspoon of garlic. Let's do a teaspoon and a half, approximately. We like garlic. What do you want, baby? Do you guys see this? Do you see my baby? She's wanting me to get her. She's not a real loving kind of dog, but there are times when she just wants love. She wants me to get her. Jump down. Jump down. Go to your daddy and let him love. Wayne, holler at Emily. Okay, we're going to do some sage. We're going to do about a teaspoon and a half. And a lot of this is just going to be to taste. It's going to be, if you like more sage or more black pepper, garlic, whatever, it's going to be to taste. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of poultry seasoning. Okay, then we're going to start adding our chicken broth. And that's as simple as that. But like I said, you can add different things to it, whatever you want to. I'm going to stir it with this spoon. Let me see how much chicken broth I was going to measure. Start with about 2 cups. I may have to make some more chicken broth. This is turkey broth, but yeah, I'll probably have to make some. I've got some chicken broth base and seasoning, so I'll probably have to make some more. I know I have to because I got to make gravy yet. I should have laid out another container of it. So that was 2 cups. Where's my other cup? About 2.5 cups for all that bread. And you want it kind of juicy because by the time it bakes, it's going to absorb this liquid, and you don't want it dry. So you want it juicier than what you think it needs to be. Oh, that's looking good. Okay, I'm gonna place you guys on a pause, and I'm gonna make some more chicken broth because I gotta have it for my gravy, and then I want to add just a little bit more, maybe a 1/2 cup, and then we're gonna call this done. Okay. Okay, I've added about a 1/2 cup of chicken broth. I tasted it. I needed a little bit more sage, so I added about a 1/2 teaspoon. So, but that's, you know, that's up to you. So the seasonings is where I want it now. I'm going to add my 2 eggs. Stir that up, and I'm going to put it in a pan. The turkey, I checked it while you guys were on pause, and it's almost done. I said another 15-20 minutes, and it's going to be right where I want it. It's looking beautiful too. It's browning. I basted it while I had it out checking it. Okay, let me get my pan. This is the way we make dressing in the South. I need more room. I don't stuff my turkey. I've never stuffed it. Okay, here it is. And it's thick, so it's probably going to take it. It's probably going to take it maybe an hour. But I'll start checking it maybe 35-40 minutes and see what the temp is inside. And we'll go from there. You want it brown and crispy. We love the crispy edges. I may dot a little butter on top. Then I'm going to stick it in the oven. Wayne and I are going to get cleaned up. It's almost time for family to start gathering in. And then we'll eat. I'll bring you guys back and let you look at the stuffing and the turkey. I've got my potatoes peeled. They're sitting over there in the water. They've been washed and they're just ready to turn on and start cooking. So I'm doing pretty good. So we'll see you guys back when everything gets done. Okay, we are ready. We're dressed, waiting for our company. But I wanted you to look at the cornbread dressing and the turkey. Hold on. There's the cornbread dressing. And it took it probably, I've lost count, probably 45 minutes or an hour in the oven. And then there's our turkey breast. Getting ready to do her sides and put the finishing touches on it. We're going to end the video, but Christmas morning we're going to bring you another video, and it's going to be a special video with a special message. So we love you guys. If you have a prayer request, please send it in. We love you guys. Merry Christmas.